Yes, sir. So we back with another story coming from the WNBA, and you already know it's a headache because the WNBA does not produce any positive stories. It's only headaches, neck turns, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Brittney Griner's arrested, right? She's in Russia still, ongoing case and whatever. You got people pleading for her to come back because who the hell wants to get locked up in a foreign facility? Let's be honest and let's be real. Nobody wants to go through that shit. But then again, on the flip side, this is when accountability has to come into play. You got these people talking about equality and whatnot. If a dude did some bonehead shit as to bring weed cartridges in the airport, I don't think anybody's going to be pleading for that man. Let's be honest. Let's be real. She's been playing in Russia for the past couple of years. But then some way, somehow, you're going to have these WNBA feminazis and lesbians going to come out from the woodworks talking about this is a gender pay gap issue. If you pull out any regular Jane and Joe and you tell them, hey, I know you're making about 35 to 45,000 a year. How about I up that to 227,000? I feel like majority of people, 9 times out of 10, are going to be A-OK in that situation. They're going to have a place. They're going to have transportation. They're going to have groceries in the fridge. But you have these WNBA lesbians who want to be so envious of being the men in the NBA. They're trying to live a lavish lifestyle. They want to be greedy. Their choice is to go overseas and try to make more money. But yet they're making 6 figures, $250,000, damn near, for producing mediocre product. We already know the story. We already know nobody's watching. Even the women that claim to be marching for equality and all of that bullshit. But it's enough of that. Let's hear what the WNBA Players Association president, she's supposed to have some credibility, but yet again, she's playing in the WNBA and she's marching for equality and all of the virtue bullshit. But let's hear what she got to say about Brittney Griner and her situation. You shouldn't be surprised.
Joining us now exclusively is WNBA All-Star and President of the Players Association, Wnba. Thank you. I know that we're limited as to what we can say, but can you just give us a sense of the mood amongst your fellow WNBA players about the detainment?
Sure. No, thank you so much for having me. And as you mentioned, it's tough. BG is us. We are BG. That could have been us. We're
really could it have been you? You mean to tell me that you would have been so high that you got weed cartridges in your luggage? If that could have been you, why hasn't it been you yet? Let's be honest.
Concerned about her health and safety, especially her mental health.
Time out. You're worried about her mental health, but you're not worried about the fact that she's dating another woman. Does that make any sense? We're not talking about mental health when we're talking about people dating the same sex. We're talking about women who want to try to be so envious of being a man that they want to become one. That has nothing to do with mental health, right? That's like that little kid who wants to be a superhero and whatnot. He's doing everything that he can to be that superhero. He's buying the cape, he's buying the costume, and all of that. Even the weakness is aluminum foil. His mother gives him a sandwich covered in aluminum foil, grabs the sandwich, acts like he's dying. That has nothing to do with mental illness, mental health.
We're hearing that in that respect, she's okay, but we want her home.
As we heard in today's piece, the commissioner is saying top priority, her safe return. And former WNBA great Lisa Leslie recently stated that the word among the Women's Basketball League is that they want the players, they should not make a, quote, big fuss over the detainment for fear that BG, as you referred to her, could be used as a pawn. Why is it that you want to speak out right now?
Yes, certainly. I would say to be more clear about that, us, Robin, we move intentionally. And given the nature of Brittney's situation, when it happened, it was very important for us to be intentional about doing the best thing to ensure that we don't compromise her coming home. And so a lot of that had to do with educating ourselves about the details of what was going on as much as we could know, but then understanding how important it was for us to be strategic about when and how we speak about her.
All that.
I can understand that. If everybody's talking about free Brittney, it's all over mainstream media. The list goes on. People over in Russia are going to be like, yo, this big lesbian is very important to the United States. Let's hold on to her. So I can understand that, trying to downplay how important she is, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? But still, it doesn't justify the fact that she made a bonehead decision having weed cartridges.
Being said, a lot in the public, they say, if this were an NBA star,
Here we go.
Brittney, that it would be daily news. Do you think a gender issue is at play here?
I mean, when is it not? You know, you advocate for us in so many respects. You know, it's.
Of course she's going to advocate for you because she's a lesbian herself. The chick said, when is it not? What the hell does this have to do with gender? Bro, more people are waking up to the fact that people in the WNBA are massively overpaid. I mean, you're giving me the quality content of an AAU tournament, travel basketball between 12 to 13-year-old teenagers. Let's be honest, chest bump between lesbians is not impressive. Nobody's screaming, nobody's yelling. The quality is slow, sloppy. The list goes on. When is it not? What the hell does this have to do with men in the NBA? Men in the NBA are not put in this situation. Some situation like this happened with LiAngelo Ball. Why nobody bringing up that situation where Trump stepped in? I get it. You don't want to bring up Trump. I understand.
It's disappointing that the question of, you know, it being a gender issue is top of mind now when it comes to this type of circumstance. But the reality is, you know, she's over there because of a gender issue, pay inequity. I played in Russia.
Cut the bullshit. These lesbians, they want to live lavish lifestyles. Nothing more, nothing less. They trying to bump shoulders with dudes in the NBA, and all of these entertainers throw singles and stacks on strippers shaking their ass. Let's be real. You're making almost $250,000. That's not enough. You're making almost $250,000. I mean, that's like a slap in the face to the average American. They're bitching and complaining. They're not making any money. They're losing money every single year. The NBA is paying you just to be around, just so you could promote lesbianism, just so you could turn out the high school and college sweethearts of the average viewer, if there are any viewers left. Let's be real. You're being greedy and you want more money. All of the people overseas are fascinated that they have tall lesbians who want to be men that want to produce some content for their amusement. So, of course, they're going to pay you more than the U.S. The U.S. is straight about capitalism, and they're not capitalizing on this situation called the WNBA, where a bunch of lesbians are not playing with the full deck. They only want to turn out the next chick. And then they want to shame a chick for being heterosexual, bro. I made a video about that. Come on. It's just a slap in the face to people that are busting their ass. They're making $250,000 damn near, the top earners and whatnot. And even the top earners, and even not the top earners, they're making too much. Talking about pay equity. What money are you producing? What revenue are you flipping? None at all. They're only bitching and complaining. They're doing virtue signals. They're talking about this and that nobody gives a shit about. They're only annoying people who might have had the slightest interest to go ahead and turn on ESPN2 or whatever channel it is that's playing the WNBA, if a channel even has it on to begin with. You can't waste money on ads when nobody's going to watch it. All the women are complaining, bi-curious lesbian women, they don't even watch it. They're too busy watching the NBA and the NFL, looking at the men that they wish they could be. Come on, bro.
For 4 years. I played in Poland for 1 year. I played in China for 2 years. We go over there to supplement our incomes. And quite frankly, we go over there to maintain our game. You know, our teams encourage us to keep up with our game by going over there and being more competitive. So there's so much that's at play that, you know, we live politically, intrinsically.
And I'm glad you brought up about the pay difference, because over in Russia, and top players can make upwards of $1 million.
Yeah.
And the top base salary in the WNBA is $228,000. You played in Russia. What was it like?
I had a good experience in Russia. I think that obviously the circumstances are very different.
Yes.
I had been playing in China shortly after Russia, but we don't want to play 12 months out of the year. We want to play over here. We're treated well. I mean, that is the truth, but we don't want to feel as though we have to go over there to get what we want to get.
Bitch, you do not have to go overseas. You guys are choosing to go overseas because you want to. You want to make more money. You see that you can make a mill overseas. Of course, who is not going to make that choice? Let's be real, bro. You had the opportunity to go overseas and make a mill to play basketball. Wouldn't you do that? It has nothing to do with what you're making in the US. It's basically your preference and your choice. You're like, damn, I could do this and play basketball and sharpen my game. Of course. Has nothing to fucking do with the pay gap. Let's be honest. They look at you like zoo animals and they're amused for their own entertainment purposes. Nothing more, nothing less, and they have the money to give you. The US is not playing that shit. They're all about capitalizing on situations. They're all about net revenue, income, not net losses.
At home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all are so strong together. The draft was great last night.
Amazing.
I know, and I'm very excited about the expectations going forward. And also, Brittney's team, Phoenix Mercury, they are going to continue a program that she launched many years ago, those people who are experiencing homelessness, helping them. And the whole league is going to be involved with that. Can you tell us more?
Absolutely. You know, we're going to continue to uplift BG's community engagement. She started BG's Heart and Soul. She was giving those affected by homelessness in Phoenix shoes out of her car. And so we're going to continue to uplift that in true BG fashion. She's our sister. And as a league, we do everything together. We mobilize and energize each other. And so for us to be able to do that until she gets back, you know, that's top priority for us. We have to continue to be one and move as one.
And thank you for being here this.
That pretty much sums it up, man. Anytime the WNBA, people that participate in that league, anytime they have the time to tell the truth or make or push the needle in any way for progression or whatever, they drop the ball every single time. They are not about telling the truth. They're about telling people all of these comfortable lies because people want to stay delusional. They want to stay in that sunken place talking about this is a gender pay gap issue. And it's nowhere near that, bro. This is a bonehead decision. You women been playing overseas for how long? And then you want to say that could be you? Well, why hasn't it been you? It's enough of that, yo. I'm out.